Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to look at another company called Xela Technologies. As you can see from this chart, the stock has been moving in a downward pattern, but recently it is actually trying to make a comeback. And some of you will be believing in the idea of invest, buy low, sell high kind of principle. So this might be a good opportunity for you to enter. So if you're interested to know about things like what is the market cycle, this particular stock is currently at the moment, what is the trend, what is the strength, what's the power in this particular stock. Stay tuned, we're going to analyze this in detail. And this is Shah&Co. Please like, share and subscribe the channel before we start our discussion. Okay, now let's begin our analysis. As you can see, I'm right now in the monthly chart. So since the beginning of this particular stock, we have been seeing a sideways kind of pattern. So as you can see at my mouse pointer here, we had a sideways pattern, and then we had a drastic drop in price for almost several years, and then right now we are seeing some sort of consolidation and it is moving somewhat up. And generally they are. If you just see the pattern, they are kind of flat, somewhat in flat manner, right, at the bottom here. So it might be a good opportunity for us to buy, take position, because usually when the stock has already dropped so much and it is stabilizing, that might actually move up again. And it's actually a very low price right now. It actually had quite a strong fall. So now what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the trend. So let's try to look at the trend. So this is actually a linear, in a linear scale. I'm going to change it to a log scale, and I'm going to move to a shorter time frame. I probably move to a day chart. So this is a day chart with a log scale, and you'll see a slightly different picture here. So if I try to zoom out, okay, it's somewhat trying to climb up, right? So do you see that? It's trying to climb up. Okay, so now let me zoom out again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the trend here. So we will try to see what trend is going on. So from the low here to all the way to up, and then from the up to a low here, and then from this low, then it shoot up to that particular high, and then it went down quite a bit up to here, and right now it is staging an uptrend, what do you call up move again. But of course right now it is it is slightly retracing. So you can see here from this chart, we are kind of having a low here. This part is a low, perhaps the lowest. Then the low is getting high, and then the low is even getting higher. So that's a good sign. And the high is here, and the high is getting higher. So basically, according to Dow theory, this is what we call an uptrend, because when the low is getting higher and the high is getting even higher, so we will have what we call the uptrend. Okay, we can also try to, okay, right now we are seeing that it is in an uptrend, but we can also confirm this if it is really in an uptrend by doing a Fibonacci retracement analysis. So how do we do that? We will take this tool, Fibonacci trend-based retracement. Okay, so from the low to the high to the low. Okay, now to the low is here, right? So now I will extend it like this. Okay, the low is here. Okay, now we're gonna, okay, I want to confirm that we are right now, make sure this Fibonacci level based on log scale is ticked, because right now we are log scale. Okay, so now if you try to look at here, the buyers took long time to go up, but the sellers took short time to go down. So this is a time domain analysis. So we are looking at the sentiment of the buyer and sellers from time perspective. So the buyer took longer time, the seller took shorter time. So the sentiment is weaker because the seller are quite aggressive in selling because they took shorter time to sell. So for that we will put our target at level 0.618. This is based on theory. So if the seller sentiment is kind of strong on the time domain perspective, we would have to use level 0.618. So now we can see that the target is achieved. So you see the price actually went well beyond above that. Okay, so it shot up, right? So that means our up target is achieved. So now next we're going to look at the down target. Okay, we need to look at the down target. So how do we look at the down target? Again, we use the Fibonacci based retracement. Maybe what I can do is I can try to remove the previous retracement analysis, and now I start fresh. Okay, so from the high to low and to the high. Okay, so that's the high. I'm just extending the scale here. Okay, now you can see that price went down. The sellers were in charge, they were selling. Then the buyers came in, right? The buyers came in, put the price up. But in terms of time domain taken, how much time taken, the sellers took shorter time to pull it down, but the buyer took longer time to pull it up. And is that a good news or bad news? And from the time perspective, even though the price went so much up, but from the time perspective analysis, if the buyer took longer time to pull the price up, that means the buyer is not strong. So the sellers are actually strong because they took shorter time to pull it down. So according to the theory, we have to use level 1.618. Okay, so level 1.618 is somewhere around here. So I'm going to draw a line here, and you can see that even the low target is achieved. Okay, so again, based on theory, this theory is known as the arts theory, the arts analysis. So according to this theory, right, if both the up target and the down target achieved, then the trend is actually, the upcoming trend is actually going to be sideways trend. So even though when we did a trend analysis just now, we saw that the price low is getting higher, the high is getting higher, but when we do the trend based Fibonacci analysis, it's actually suggesting that it might actually move sideways after this. Okay, so that is one kind of observation we can do. Okay, that the price is going to move sideways. That is totally not bad. In fact, that is actually good because as you can see, if I switch back to the linear chart, right? So this is a linear chart. If I try to show the full picture, we are seeing that the price went down sharply down, and it is actually the rock bottom here, right? So usually at the rock bottom there, the price will actually move sideways first before it stage a uptrend. So we are, in terms of market cycle analysis, we are actually in the right path, because right now we are looking forward for a sideways pattern, and from there on we might see a uptrend. So those of you whose investment style is actually buy low, sell high, so this might be a point where you can start to consider. Of course, we want to play safe, we buy at the lowest possible. So now let's continue our analysis. Well, before that, have you all hit the subscribe button? If you had to hit the subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button now, because I'm going to explain to you more, and I'm going to put up more videos about different stocks, putting my analysis there, so that you can actually see how probably a different perspective from the way you look, or maybe somewhat similar to your perspective. Okay, so now let's move on to a different analysis. So we are seeing that, okay, conclusion wise on the Dow theory it is uptrend, but when you do Fibonacci retracement it's on sideways, right? So next we're going to look at power analysis, because this power analysis is very powerful actually. So how do we do power analysis? Okay, I'm going to clear my chart, and I'm going to switch back to log scale, and I'm going to move back to a day chart. Okay, this is a day chart. So how to do this power analysis? First I need trend lines. Okay, so let me draw the trend line again. So this is a low to the high. I need two loops actually. So now you can see I'm creating loop. So from that high to the low creates one loop. So we need the up and the down, create one loop. So similarly I need two loops. So this is another low to high, and then from that high again I'm going to go low. So once I have these two, okay, which one is lower? Okay, this is the low, I guess. Okay, so we have up and low, so that creates second loop, right? So now we're going to measure the strength that we have, the power to go up. So how do we see the ability, or rather the power to go up? So we'll take this Fibonacci tool, we look at the strength of the sellers. So to see the buyer's power, we need to study the sellers. How is the power of seller as well? So from the low to the high, okay, right? So now you see the buyers pushing it up, then sellers pulling it down, right? So we try to see how much the sellers, what's the energy of the sellers. So the sellers can pull down by around 38%, right? Then we compare that with the next loop. So from the low to high, and then you see this time around it went down well beyond 78%. So from about 38%, now the sell down is more, like 78%. So the sellers are getting more powerful, right? So when the sellers are getting more powerful, there's very less likelihood for it to go up. Okay, when we say go up, we power up. In other words, when we say power up, means for it to go well beyond the previous high. So that's our benchmark. So this is the high. So I'm right now drawing the line. So this is the high that we reach, the highest we reach so far. Now what's the likelihood for current up move that we are having for it to breach and go beyond or break out from that high? Is very less, because we noticed that the sell down is so severe in the last round. So the sellers are there, their strong sentiment of selling power is there. So it's very less likelihood for this current up move to go well beyond the previous high. Okay, that is in terms of power up. Next we're going to look at power down, because we need to study both power up as well as power down. So to study the power down, I will need to have another two loops. So how I'm going to get another loop, because right now we see we only have one loop for the power to study the power down. So we have one loop here, we need another loop. So I'm going to extend this. I'm going to have this particular down move. Okay, so now I'll have two loops, one go down, go up. So this time we look, a loop is created by a down moving and up moving, a down moving and up moving. That creates two loops. The current one down moving, it's not yet, we are not sure yet what is the next high is going to. So that's why I'm not taking this particular down move and up move to a consideration. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll take the Fibonacci tool again. So do a retracement analysis. Now you can see here, price went down, move up. It moved up almost to 127%. So the buy is quite strong. They moved the price to 127%. The second round, okay, let's look at second round. In the second round, we see that buy is even stronger actually. They move all the way. So from the low here, move always almost 227% or 200%, because it's not even touched the 227. So I would roughly estimate it to be 200. So in terms of comparative strength, right, we can see the buyer getting stronger, because from 127 to almost 200, they're actually getting stronger. So when the buyer is getting stronger, so there's less power down. So there's no energy to go down, because the buyers are there waiting, right? So there's no power down. So now we conclude, according to the power down analysis, we don't have power down, right? And we also noticed earlier, for the power up analysis, we don't have power up. So because we have two contradicting conclusion, no power up, no power down, so where is it going to go to? It's going to go sideways. So that's why it kind of confirms to what we earlier we did one study, right? We did the power, the Fibonacci trend retracement, right? The way the high was achieved, high target was achieved, the low target was also achieved. So the conclusion previously I done was it is going to be sideways, and this power analysis in fact confirms on that and says that it's going to be on a sideways, because when we have power up, we don't have power up or don't have power down, then it will go sideways. Okay, so sideways pattern is kind of confirmed from our analysis, because we have two studies which confirms the same thing. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a strength analysis. Okay, to do strength analysis, I just need to measure the relative strength. So what is the strength here? So now you see here we having a price move up, right? This one price move up. So we'll compare the movement, upward movement in the first round with the second move up. Okay, and we can only do this strength analysis when it is suggesting a uptrend. And in fact, we did earlier that because we have a low is getting higher, right? And Dow theory says that it is actually uptrend. Okay, so because of this uptrend, I can apply my strength analysis. And in fact, the strength analysis is suggesting that it is actually growing in strength. The strength is growing because the recent up move is much more stronger, or rather it is actually the distance is longer compared to the previous one, right? Because the price moved much more farther compared to the previous one. So therefore the strength is there. Okay, the strength is there. So when the strength is there, so the price will continue to move up. That's what it suggests. Okay, and do we see that? Yes. So when the price went down here, then it went up. You see, the price went up. But whether it can go beyond the previous high, that's a different question. And just now we showed that in the power analysis, we say that it doesn't have the power to go up, right? So it doesn't have the up power. And in fact, we are making a prediction that it might go sideways from this Dow theory's uptrend pattern. It might go sideways. Okay, is a sideways pattern too bad? In fact, not a too bad thing, because if you look at the linear scale, I'm bringing back to linear scale, and I'm going to show you the big picture again in the monthly chart. You can see the price already moved so much down, right? Now it's kind of stabilizing at the low part here. In fact, according to the market cycle, right, usually when price has fallen so much, it will stabilize by going sideways first, and then only you make a uptrend move. Okay, so that actually kind of according to the market cycle we are expecting. So our power analysis, our target analysis just now we did, right, confirms to even the market cycle analysis that it is going to go sideways. So if you are thinking of investing in this particular stock, do have a long horizon, because you might not get that 10 bagger kind of thing in a very short period of time. So you might need to be very patient in this stock, and probably you might want to wait for the price to go down and then start to enter, and so that your risk level is actually not too high, because when you buy at a very high price, then you're taking a very huge risk, right? So do observe what's happening to the market. So I'm going to also show you the market structure. So now let's see the market structure. So if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, can you help me to hit the subscribe button now? I'm going to go into a new dimension of analysis now. So now let's see the market structure. Okay, so let's see the market structure. How is the market structure look right now? Okay, I'm going to clear up the screen so that we have a bit of room to analyze. So I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so I think this is well, okay, but you might not be able to see clearly, but that's fine, because we're looking at some market structures here. I need a bigger view. Okay, now, so where are our market structures? So let us try to look here. I mean, here is a strong support there, right? Okay, I'm switching back to log scale, because that will be a more precise analysis. Okay, so this is our what you call our support, and now you can see this particular price, it almost nearing to that resistance for this particular up move, becomes that is a resistance, almost hit there. Now even before that it already went down, right? And previously also somewhere around that point it hit somewhere around there, and then making a pullback, right? So that sounds a good resistance, and actually a support turned to be resistant. So it was a support somewhere around this area, but then it turned out to be resistant around this area, right? So this is where the sellers, buyers will actually buy at the low price. The sellers will come and sell at those resistance levels. So we're experiencing that. So that is quite normal in the market. So the next support resistance is somewhere around here. Okay, so this is a key level for us to monitor what's going on, because right now, if I were to zoom in, right, So currently the price is moving down, right? So currently the price is moving down. So we are not sure whether this particular support level will be a sufficient support for it to hold the sellers so that the buyers can come in and overtake them. So we are not sure on that. We need to see. So this is one key level for us to monitor. So if it doesn't hold the water, right? If it doesn't hold, I mean the sellers keep selling. So then we need to aim for the next support level. So where is the next support level? The next support level is somewhere around here. Okay, this is a support resistance. This looks even stronger, you know. I mean, okay, so if the current selling doesn't stop at this particular area, $3 something, so you might go all the way down here, and then this might be a next buying opportunity area. Okay, and we do have other supports. Okay, I'm even seeing this area around here to be a support, a good support. Okay, this area also seems to be a good support. Okay, so I mean these are the levels that the price can go to, right? So we will see how strong is this particular stock. Right now we concluded just now, right? According to our analysis, it's going to be in sideways, right? So there's a high tendency because it's going to be in sideways, the price to continue to go down. So there's high opportunity to do that. So that means those who are thinking about buying, so you can actually stand by at those key levels. So these are the 4 key levels the blue lines have drawn, but definitely this is not going to be our key level anymore. I mean that's going to be if those when the price move up, but since the price is now moving down, so we look at this particular level, and that particular level. See how the price is behaving at those levels. So if you see some sort of strength in it, then you can start to enter, and that could be a good support level before the price move up. But according to our projection, it might not move so quickly because it is on sideways. Therefore, it might go down to test the low before it move up. So that's why I think about this particular stock. So if you gain a lot of new things, new dimension of analysis and all that, please do subscribe to the channel and give me your comments and like the channel and like the video in fact, and we'll see you in the next video. See you. Bye bye.